Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another tier list where we're going to be talking about what task is king in the wilderness. So there's a lot of factors for us to consider, and first we're going to be talking about how much GP you can make per hour by doing that task. But secondly, hey, is it good for XP or is it absolutely crap? And maybe it's a task that actually is slept on and nobody even does. And hey, help us hit 3K subs, you guys, and maybe I'll even make a PK video. But hey, that being said, so of course this is coming from an Iron Man, so be warned, take all of this with a grain of salt. But that being said, I think I know my way around the wilderness well enough now as we are on our Slayer Lots grind. But hey, tell me what I've got wrong, tell me what you like, what you hate, maybe another tier list you would want to see me cover. And with that, before we jump in, I just do want to say that yeah, hey, a lot of the wilderness does have multi, and so normally multi can be a very good thing when we're talking about Slayer, but in this, just do keep in mind that that does come with some added risk, so maybe bring some low budget gear. And so all that being said, of course, do factor in that I will be not going here with Blood Torva, but rather all low level gear. And that being said, I think it's time to jump into the video, boys. So we've got S tier all the way down to F tier. Sometimes I like to rename them. I figure we're just going to keep it simple today. And yeah, this is all of Crystalia's tasks. And so without further ado, dude, I think we can just start jumping right into this, man. Ice Warriors, Ice Giants, absolute crap. They are located all the way up in the northwest of the wilderness. Same thing with Magic Axes, absolutely no money to be had from these, and they are located more up in the very far deep wilderness. Ent's really not worth your time, man. Like, I would say this is a hard block, so maybe the F tier is just blocks or at least skip tier list. I can't say any way that'd be worth doing it. Hill Giants, man, it is one of those things that, yes, you can do them. Earth Warriors, holy crap, that actually belongs down in F as well, man. If you want to get killed by frames, then go do an Earth Warriors task. If not, I would say you should just absolutely skip this. There's no money to be had, no experience, and I'm just trying to get some of these, like, Moss Giants out of the way because, yeah, all of these tasks, rather lame, rather useless. These are really ones that you should just never be doing. This is not what makes you a lot of money. But on the flip side, and we'll slow down a little bit to talk about some of these in a second, when we talk about Black Demons, man, they are an all-time amazing experience because they have very low defenses. You can cannon here, it is multi, just like Ainq's. So both two very great tasks to be doing in the Wilderness Slayer Caves. I would never go kill green dragons here. There's like 2 of them, but that being said, you can. And yeah, hey, let's talk about what is the Wilderness Slayer Cave. So if you don't know, it's over here between 18 and 29 wilderness. So bring a Ring of Wealth or a Glory and you will be able to teleport out as long as you don't get tele blocked. So that being said, it's really not that bad of a place. And the drops are increased here. The monsters do have higher levels as well. And that being said, all of these tasks here, I would just say almost always prioritize going to the Slayer Cave. It is going to be multi as well, so it's very good for cannons. It's very good for using ancients. But of course, that being said, take all of this with a grain of salt because you have a better chance to see the PKer there. So by the way, I guess I forgot they were there. So we're going to move the Ice Giants up a little bit. I do have to say we're rather nuts if we are not going to slow down to talk about Abyssal Demons. But I don't know, man. Green Dragons, I actually really do enjoy outside of the Slayer Wilderness Cave. There is a lot of bots there for sure, but it's a really OG, iconic spot. Great spot to get some prayer. But again, to focus on the tasks that matter more, like Jellies, dude, they have superiors, they have amazing money, you can in fact burst them, and it's just one of those things that are well worth your time. And that being said, I do want to just say that the Abyssal Dagger and the Abyssal Whip, 2 iconic weapons, do come from Abyssal Demons. Yes, you have to worry about being teleported around. No, you cannot save spot here. Yes, it is multi as well, but I don't know, I think it's worth it.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Alright, so maybe you guys disagree, but hey, it's one of those things. It is worth the grind. And what's also worth the grind is any task that has a superior. You can see the whole list here. They are all rather good. It is one of those things that, again, they're all not maybe created equal, but any superior has a chance to drop the Imbued Heart. It also gets multiple rolls on their drop table, and so therefore always factor that in when you are considering what tasks to go about, is that the Imbued Heart is just amazing. it's up to around, I believe, 9 mil as of making this video. And some of these tasks even just have extra mechanics which make them a little bit more exciting. For example, like these bloody things, the first times I ever fought them, I actually died quite a few times because I didn't understand that you had to dodge the ball. And then meanwhile, like the Necreel, like look at this, you can just literally keep in track back here. It's so easy. So that being said, again, that's why I think Necreals can go up at the top. They are really great money. It can be profitable while being multi in the wilderness. It's just all in all very well rounded, and you really only need like 55 magic to make this worth it. That is what sets this task apart. You of course have superiors, lots of money to be said. So that being said, when we talk about the stupid flying birds, I'm gonna be honest, this is a task I nearly always skip. Some people like it because there is multi, it does have some requirements. Money is really rather abysmal. Bandits, again, not really much of a source of money, but you can get amazing experience because it is multi. You can group them all up and they have really no stats whatsoever. Easier to get to as well, so I think B tier is still fair. Oh my gosh, Bloodvelds. This I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for. People love Bloodvelds. For me, thinking about Wilderness specifically, I don't think they're that great of a task, so I think they're going to go in B. If we're not talking Wilderness, of course, it's much better. It does have a superior. But to talk about Artio or just bears, I would say you would only kill bears really to kill Artio. Amazing money. It is one of the reasons that people do Wilderness Slayer. It is really rather easy to do, easy to escape from, and you really don't even have that high of requirement to kill them. And again, I would say that, yeah, it's about like, what, 2.5 mil. That is crazy money. Of course, once upon a time, the only way to really get dragon pickaxes was from the wilderness, but nowadays you're here for the Void Waker. You can still make good money from Alks, get cannonballs, you know, etc. So that's why, again, I think it deserves to be up in the S tier, but you're not going to be getting as good of experience as something like Necreals. So to talk about skeletons, man, that is of course something that I would say is another boss task. I'm surprised I split them apart. Sorry, I should only have one here really. But so yeah, killing Calvarion or Vedion, they're again amazing money. They should be up here in the S tier. Honestly, arguably even better than Artio because they're easier to kill. I would say probably easier to escape from. Again, low level wilderness, of course. But I just kind of prefer Artio. I think Artio is a little bit more fun and you do make a little bit more money there. So, Bloodvelds, I do think we should move it up a little bit higher. But where, I don't know. Again, if it's just wilderness only, it's really not the best of the best tasks, but it is still really rather good. To talk about the King Black Dragon, you would think it'd be up here with the other bosses, but it's actually sadly not the case. It is one of the oldest bosses in all of old school RuneScape. Fact check me, it actually might even be the oldest boss. The money's abysmal. This was like the place to get the dragon pickaxe, and now the fact that everyone else has it, that's all that really ever had any use to it. It's easy enough to kill, just bring in anti-fire, and yeah, you really just, you stand here and you hit it. It's nothing special. You're also safe once you get here. So I guess that is worth factoring in. The XP is, of course, really rather abysmal as well because you're not being able to do anything like multi. But yeah, just to talk about like Calvarion, for example, look how much more engaging this is than the KBD. And again, is coming from someone that loves the KBD. Like, love it. It is iconic. It's something that hopefully we all killed it back in the day when it was just worth more. But I can't justify putting that up in S, not even in A. I think B. Who knows, we might even move him even lower, but I think that's fair. But now if we are going to be talking about the stupid floating cloud, man, well, no, actually, let's start off with the crazy archaeologist. Both of these and the crazy fanatic, they're both rather good. I think B tier is fair. There's not a lot of money to be had here, but killing both of them, I think the Chaos Fanatic, and I'll throw it on screen, is a little bit more money, but you have to be deeper in the wilderness to do it, and so therefore I'm actually going to put it a little lower, but again, that is up to you. If you're here for money versus experience. But yeah, so while we're killing the stupid floating cloud, it has a few unique, interesting mechanics, but again, nothing special. It will de-equip your gear if you have space in your inventory, and it will teleport you away. But that being said, the money is, again, not terrible, so it's really your call on where you think this deserves to go. Certainly, it should be higher than KBD. If we are factoring in iconicness or cool as a factor, then maybe not. It is annoying. It is also harder to get to, so that's why it also does not deserve, I don't think, to be higher on this list. Talk about both of these guys. They are both a great source of herbs, whatever you want to call them. But beyond that, I really wouldn't say there's much reason to be doing them in the wilderness. Kind of like the Dark Warriors. Dark Warriors, great experience actually, but money is even worse. There's nothing that's worth drops here at all. But you are, if I'm not mistaken, this is multi. You can stack them up and you can just melt them all down with magic. So kind of like bandits, honestly, but I guess I just prefer bandits more. I do think they have slightly better drop table. The Dark Warriors really have absolutely nothing. So if we're talking about dragons, we're finally talking about one that's actually useful. Lava dragons, there's a reason why they're botted like crazy. If you want to go kill bots, go kill these bots. You'll make a ton of money. That being said, and they're safe spottable, they're not really something that you're going to do for amazing experience, but you can make some really solid money, and we'll throw it on screen. But yeah, they're the best of the dragons that you can be killing in the wilderness, in my opinion. Fire giants, the better form of all the giants that you can be killing. But again, that being said, I don't think they really deserve to be higher than in the C category. I'm going to put them here. But again, maybe I'll get flamed. This is one of those things that is great outside of the wilderness. There is cannibal areas for them, but just in the wilderness, I think there's much better tasks for you to be doing. So that being said, let's take a second to talk about zombies as well as pirates and what that means, because actually this is probably one of the best tasks on the entire list. Which then, just to say, that the amount of money is rather crazy that you can be making, and this is in lower wilderness of, I believe you can get away with is 22. But so up to about 4.5 mil per hour if you're being very efficient. You can use a cannon here. It is multi, but it does mean that you also have to worry about being teleblocked by the Elder Chaos Druid. So it is a very high reward, maybe low risk area, and I would say you certainly should be prioritizing this task. So just to show you guys again, we are going to put pirate and zombie both at the top of this list because it is two separate tasks from Cristelia, but both can be used to kill zombie pirates. Also, just pulling out the duplicates, I was originally thinking to break them apart, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you ever kill normal skeletons or normal bears? Same thing with the stupid scorpions. You should really only be killing Scorpia. It is, if I'm not mistaken, 55 wilderness, but it is roughly more than 1 mil an hour. So it's kind of down here in this lower tier that, again, there is tasks obviously above it that are, you know, not maybe as well on XP, but it's just a dangerous area for okay gains. And so speaking of which, I think greater demons, lesser demons is a great task. XP is better than some things here, but I can't really see putting them in C, and I can't really see putting them in A because the money and XP is not as good as the A and S tier. S tier and A tier just tasks I think you should always be doing. B is more up to your own opinion, when C and F are ones you can basically all but skip. But that being said, this task above all else, man, that could very well be at the top of this list is Revenants. I'm not too sure where it belongs in S tier, but just to talk about it really quickly and show you guys some very fun Revenant gameplay is it's very highly contested for PKers, but the money here is insane. There's also many different types of Revenants, which is great. You can be killing some of the weaker variants like these, you know, the imps, all the way up to like ogres or the knights, and of course the boss as well. The money is rather crazy. You can be making like about 4 mil an hour if you're having good gear and, you know, a little bit of good RNG, but honestly, your biggest enemy is escaping from PKers. So if you have the agility level, you can be looking out for all of these places that you can skip over. But that being said, the PKers might be able to as well. But even just look at that, like. And so friends, before we wrap this video up, I just do want to say, please like, subscribe if you've enjoyed it. Always making RuneScape content here on the channel, and I really am trying to push for 3K. It'd be a huge dream of mine to get there. I think we'd bake a cake, give it to the kids, put it in a video for you guys to celebrate. And thank you for all the support. Of course, leave likes and comments below, and back to the video. Alright, so as we wrap this up, let's do one last review. And oh yeah, so Mammoths, of course. Personally, I might get flamed for this. I really do enjoy them. I think the XP is rather good. It's not great. It is a cannibal spot, and it's right next to Ferrex Enclave, so you can literally just pop back in there, restore stats, come back in. It's very noob friendly. I absolutely hate these things. So spiritual creatures, like I would even put this in the block list. So yeah, F tier is, these are the things I'd be blocking. S tier are the things that I think are just broken money or amazing experience. A tier is again going to be really good money or really good experience. When B maybe might excel in one but not really be good in either per se. I think this looks pretty fair to me. What do you guys think? Please do say something down below in the comments. Do you guys think this cooked? Do you think it was absolutely terrible? This is, again, my experience, my thoughts. Again, coming from an Iron Man, coming from someone chasing the untrimmed Slayer cape. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Have a good day. God bless, and bye-bye.